What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy, and you're watching Comedy Central.
This is for the ones who care.
Big games are about big players, top players, playing at an elite level, and those who show up in those big battles. And today, Arsenal Football Club lost every single battle on that pitch. I know that you're going to hear lots of ranting and raving. I'm going to try and bring you a slightly more considered approach, but there are things that I've got to get off my chest yet again. We'll start from the top. Alexis Sanchez versus Eden Hazard is something that you see compared on social media all the time. And in truth, only one of them was world class today. Only one of them turned up and showed the desire to win the league with an absolutely inspirational performance. Dribbling past half the Arsenal team from the halfway line, literally throwing midfielders off his back like he was swatting irrelevant little flies out of his face. And one of them was completely invisible, totally marked out of the game, offering little to no attacking threat whatsoever, getting the ball constantly caught under his feet, almost forgetting the meaning of a 1-2 or the fact that he plays with other people on his team. And probably left him thinking that after the sensational displays that he's put in this season, after the blood, sweat and tears that he has dripped for Arsenal Football Club, that China may well be the best way out of this mess. And one of those big battles that I'm talking about in these big games is not even about the players, it's about the managers. Antonio Conte versus Arsene Wenger. Let's talk about this now. One of them has completely transformed the side from mid-table mediocrity last year to league winners. One of them has switched his tactics up completely in the last few months after that defeat. One of them has shown charisma, leadership, intelligence, that willingness to adapt, and the obsessive compulsiveness that's required in a competitive environment like the Premier League. And one of them is looking like the Arsenal mascot. Ancient, tired, slow, devoid of original ideas, just throwing players together with no apparent plan, squeezing the belief out of his own players by dropping them after top performances and only making real changes when he's forced into them, and actually constantly doing his best, it seems, to undo a winning mentality by altering winning sides and just putting too much faith in obvious favourites when it's actually of no benefit to the side. It's actually to the detriment of the side. There's a lot of confused people watching football. There's a lot of confused people. I mean, even the people that are hosts on Match of the Day, they're confused people comparing the likes of Kante to Xhaka. You got it all wrong, mate. I'm sorry to say this. You got it all wrong. Xhaka is actually the equivalent of Matic. It's Coquelin that's our comparison. And if you want to insult my intelligence by comparing Kante to Coquelin, you can just do me a favour. It's like comparing a diamond tip with fucking aluminium foil. It's like getting a steak at a Michelin-star restaurant compared to the little flimsy thing that they put in a Big Mac. And I like Big Macs, right? They can do a job. They can actually fill a hole sometimes. But if you want that elite level, that Premier League winning level, then you go and pick up the most effective player in the Premier League last year and you pay the fucking money for a guy whose lungs are like some kind of Ethiopian cross-country runner. You pay the fucking money for a wolf in the middle who'll chase down anything and covers three positions tirelessly. And you don't settle for a fucking chihuahua to scare off the burglars. The passing combinations that Chelsea showed off today were just simply too much for Arsenal to handle. It was actually just embarrassing watching. The structure of this Chelsea side is simply too organised for Arsenal to deal with. And the vulnerability of Wenger's setup, the half-hearted challenges, the lack of positional awareness from players like Theo Walcott on the first goal showed the real difference in class out there. And that is the reason why, barring an absolute miracle, Chelsea will deservedly be crowned Premier League champions at the end of this season. When Conte was managing Italy in the Euros this summer, we saw how he changed the belief of even the Italian fans by taking a squad that man for man looked average to the naked eye, bang average, and instilled this hardened, battle-ready mentality and coupled it with an effective tactical nous that saw them go much further than even football purists out there thought possible. He is a very, very impressive manager. But now that he's got some elite players at his fingertips, he's on another level. And unfortunately, mate, all Arsenal did when they beat Chelsea 3-0 early in the season, they just awakened the beast. They actually played into his hands. Man for man, they were just simply better than Arsenal today. It's that simple. Pedro was absolutely phenomenal today. Passion, adrenaline-fueled intensity. The first line of defence, always willing to track back and fight for everything. Closing down every Arsenal touch from front to back and putting Arsenal, vulnerable, little, meek little Arsenal, under the pressure that just sees them crumble. And don't act like you haven't seen this before. And Arsenal had chances. They had chances. But of course, Gabriel doesn't have to fucking put a free header into the ground, lad. Into the ground, where the keeper can't get to it. Not straight down his fucking throat, where he can pat it away and have fucking Gary Neville and Jamie Redknapp acting like he just saved the world from Donald Trump. Oh. Only 2 Arsenal players can hold their head high today. 2 Arsenal players alone. Danny Welbeck, who came on and after 5 minutes probably looked like the best player we'd had on the pitch all day. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain can hold his head high for me because he's getting better all the time. And I hope we don't lose him soon. I really hope we don't lose him soon. He's not tempted by other offers because he could easily have had more faith shown in him by a manager and could have been at this level 2 years ago. But you know what? I really don't want to hear these fucking excuses on social media from desperate-looking Arsenal fans looking for anything to justify this season, let alone this result. I don't want to hear excuses about how Xhaka is out. I don't want to hear excuses about how El Neni's in fucking Africa, or how Santi Cazorla's been injured for the last 18 years, or blah fucking blah. It's all irrelevant. And you know what? I've seen about 500 tweets about how Bellerin was fucking elbowed. And he was. But what really stood out for me was that both men were ball watching. Both leapt in the air with their arms fully raised, as you do when you're jumping. And one came in from a much more attacking, aggressive and effective angle with a run-up, while Bellerin was almost at a standstill after challenging fucking Diego Costa. Listen, I'm lost as to what's going on here. And I really do try and be unbiased as anything. So listen, right? Yes, I have seen those I've seen that given. I've seen it given. Yes, that's a situation where one guy's ended in the ground, getting clattered, completely knocked out, didn't even know where he was. But I don't want to hear about fucking refereeing decisions. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about how Bellerin is fucking completely destroyed. What I do want to hear... We're a joke. It's a joke. Mustafi, I said you got no L's in your name. Your name's fucking LL Cool J, son. This guy's just fucking... He's just had his ankles broken like Boateng against Messi. And listen, what I do want to hear, right? What I do want to hear is why this little Spanish dwarf... Right? Why this little GQ model, why this little 4'4" smurf is the one marking not only the fucking 6'2" Brazilian from the favelas in Diego Costa, but also the 6'2" Marcos Alonso. What I do want to hear is why this little peanut-headed coffee addict is looking over at Alonso, seeing that he's completely free, and not even running. You're not even fucking running to make sure that you got there ahead of him. While you've completely lost track of your man, and you're just looking into the ground when he scored. Fucking hiding away, you shirker. Like you wanted to just shift all the blame onto Bellerin, who was actually very brave in trying to do the job of 2 fucking centre-backs who were well out of position, trying to cover for other people not doing their jobs. As fucking usual. Not a fucking clue, this lot. Complete shambles. Like some fucking pub team thrown together at random without a plan for a fucking kickabout on Hackney Marshes. You're a joke. You're an absolute fucking joke. You're a fucking meme, I've said it before. I mean, what type of tactical thought process has gone into that? And what I do want to hear as well is why Petr Cech, our fucking Lord and Saviour, Petr Cech, of these fucking mystical, magical 15 points, is yet again getting brought into the fucking football club's first 11. I am bored of telling you in every fucking video he is an absolute liability about his fucking world class. You don't even know the meaning of the words. Of course Costa's going to win the header. And of course, Cech's going to make the save that's straight above his head, right? It's fucking head height. He didn't even have to dive. But then, just to watch the ball going into the back of the net when it was literally right next to you. Watch it back in slow motion as he pulls out of the save and literally watches the ball go past him. It's right fucking next to you, but he's world class, yeah? Wake the fuck up. Can't get down to the ground anymore because it's below knee level height and he's an old age pensioner that should be playing a bit part role or should have fucking retired or gone to fucking MLS like Drogba, like Lampard, like every bloody Chelsea player of yesterday's era. But no, he's world class. And it got worse! Incredible scenes! I'm sorry, somehow it actually got worse. You see where Pep Guardiola wants to use a goalkeeper as the first line of the attack? He wants a guy who's comfortable with the ball at his feet. We're happy with a guy who's very visibly not comfortable with the ball at his feet. He actually hates having the ball at his feet. He has no confidence in finding a man. And he has consistently poor distribution. We're done. Big keepers, right? In big games, they make big saves. And how many did he make? Fucking 0. None. Nilch. Null. Void. Fuck all. The only save he did make, which was literally passed to him, he fumbled. He dropped it. He couldn't catch it. I mean, fucking laughable. He literally dropped it and watched it go for a corner. Embarrassing. Actually embarrassing. Forget the fact that he's wearing a fucking helmet 8 years on. And to throw salt in the wound. I mean, it was literally hilarious. I mean, absolutely laughable, this club. Absolutely laughable. He panicked. He completely panicked when the ball was thrown back to him. And instead of just putting his laces through it, he decided that passing it straight to Fabregas, just dinking it straight to Fabregas, when he was stuck in no man's land, was the best idea. Of all the people that you could gift it to. I mean, it's sumptuous, beautiful, beautifully done, very easy, simple stuff, basics for a player of Cesc Fabregas' technical ability. 3-0. He'd been on the fucking field a couple of minutes and we let him end any hope whatsoever. We were ended by Fabregas. The club has been finished by Fabregas. Cesc actually finished us. I mean, unreal scenes, mate. Unreal. You literally couldn't write it. Oh no, wait, you fucking could! Because it's predictable as fuck. Job done. Game over. Embarrassment complete. Humiliation for Arsenal. Premier League title for Chelsea. Wenger fails in the league again. Conte wins it at the first fucking attempt. And I'm sorry, we haven't even started. Look at the way Hazard drifted through you. He drifted through you. Fucking hot knife through butter. Little Hazard. The ease at which he was allowed to run from the halfway line is like some kind of fucking analogy for this club. Are you telling me that Emmanuel Petit would allow this little dwarf to get fucking 3 yards away from him? Are you telling me that Patrick Vieira wouldn't have just clattered the fuck out of the guy, even if he had an inkling that he was getting away from him? Don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. Incredible goal. Beautiful goal. You're going to have to watch that goal back for fucking years, mate. So I hope you enjoyed being part of it. But to be physically bullied by Hazard, embarrassing. Embarrassing. To be scared to put a foot in and make the tackle, shocking. And to have Koscielny, Mustafi, Coquelin, Cesc, all left in his wake, all left flat on their fucking arses. Absolutely criminal. The knives are out. They're fully out. Yet again for Arsene Wenger. And at this point, lads, top four doesn't even look that secure. It really doesn't look that secure. And that brings me to the fucking board. A board, right, who are happy with this consistent mediocrity, who won't react. A board who are constantly content only to have fucking one footballing brain on the premises. A board who just love this profitability that comes through every fucking year without fail and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So they can spend hundreds of millions and hundreds of millions on fucking ranches full of cows in Texas. A board that are so out of touch with fans that they think they can just pass off our concerns with phrases like, thanks for the interest in our affairs. Fucking having a laugh. A board that is actually more concerned with turning this club in some kind of global brand than actually winning football games and titles. That's my concern. They've let Arsenal have the fucking run into this place because they're always safe in the knowledge that he's going to make them all very rich. And until that changes, until we bring in coaches who are more in touch with the modern game instead of relying so heavily on one man, until we stop allowing these players to get so comfortable on top fucking wages and giving them these guaranteed starts when they clearly don't deserve them, and until we stop giving players breaks to do fucking comedy promotions for companies and YouTube channels to build the brand, nothing will change. I'm tired of it all. I can't even get, I'm so used to it now that it's like, I've almost been numbed to the disappointment. There's only so many times that you can fool a man, right? And then even a fool will stop believing. Like, congratulations to Chelsea. That was a well-deserved win. Very effective, very efficient, very impressive from front to back. And although Arsenal had their chances, they're not man enough to take them. They're not man enough to grasp those opportunities. And they're certainly not clinical enough in front of goal. With that lack of killer instinct, you've been exposed yet again. Reality's hit today, bruv. Reality's hit today. This is where we are yet again. And it's a sorry state of affairs, really. It really is. Feel free to share this video anyway, wherever. And if you want to get in touch, you can find me on all the relevant social media links in the description box below. For now, though, my name's been hughwizzy, and this has been Same old Arsenal, constant disappointment. Same old Arsenal, perennial mediocrity. I mean, we're a fucking joke. What a joke. Peace.